casting long shadows across the worn hardwood floors. Amelia Bennett, a slender woman with tired eyes that contradicted her youthful face, stood frozen in the middle of her modest kitchen. Her trembling hands gripped her phone so tightly her knuckles had turned white. 6 words glared back at her from the screen. "Daddy, please come back." Sent to Jackson Montgomery, billionaire CEO of Montgomery Enterprises and her boss of 3 years. "Mommy, did I do something wrong?" Lucy's small voice broke through Amelia's panic. The 6-year-old stood in the doorway, her favorite stuffed rabbit clutched against her chest, brown eyes wide with concern. Amelia forced a smile. "No, sweetie, everything's fine." She tucked her phone into her pocket, heart still racing. "What made you send that message to Mr. Montgomery?" Lucy shuffled her feet. "You said he's your friend, and you look at his picture the way Mrs. Wilson at school looks at pictures of her husband who went to heaven." She twisted the ear of her stuffed rabbit. "I thought maybe he could be my daddy since my real daddy doesn't want to come back." A lump formed in Amelia's throat. 2 years had passed since Robert had walked out, claiming he wasn't cut out for family life. 2 years of single motherhood, of working twice as hard to prove herself at Montgomery Enterprises, while raising Lucy alone. 2 years of secretly falling for a man who existed in a world entirely different from her own. "Lucy, honey," Amelia knelt to meet her daughter's eyes. "Mr. Montgomery is my boss. He's getting married to someone else next month. He's a very important man, and we can't send him messages like that." "But you cry sometimes when you think I'm sleeping," Lucy said with the innocent honesty only children possess. "And you have that picture of you two at the Christmas party. You look happy in it." Amelia closed her eyes briefly. That Christmas party had been a mistake, one night when professional boundaries had blurred under the influence of champagne and holiday spirit. One kiss hidden away from prying eyes that had meant everything to her and probably nothing to him. The next day, Jackson had announced his engagement to Sophia Winters, daughter of his father's oldest friend and business partner. The perfect match for the Montgomery empire. The phone in her pocket vibrated. Amelia's heart stopped. "Is that him?" Lucy asked, her face lighting up with hope. "Bedtime, sweetie," Amelia said, ignoring the question. "Go brush your teeth while I make your lunch for tomorrow." Once Lucy had disappeared down the hall, Amelia pulled out her phone with shaking hands. A text from Jackson Montgomery stared back at her. "My office, 8 a.m. tomorrow." 4 words that could end her career. Amelia barely slept that night. By morning she had rehearsed a dozen different explanations, each sounding more pathetic than the last. After dropping Lucy at school with a forced smile and a promise of ice cream later, she drove to the gleaming Montgomery Enterprises building in downtown. The elevator ride to the top floor felt like a journey to the gallows. When the doors slid open, Amelia stepped into the executive suite, straightening her modest navy dress, the most professional outfit she owned. Jackson's executive assistant, Diane, glanced up with a look that sent chills down Amelia's spine. "He's waiting for you," she said with unusual solemnity. "Go right in." Jackson Montgomery stood at the floor-to-ceiling window of his corner office, his back to the door. At 42, he commanded every room he entered, not just because of his wealth, but because of an innate confidence that seemed coded into his DNA. Dark hair with distinguished touches of silver at the temples, broad shoulders under an impeccably tailored suit, and a profile that belonged on the cover of Business Weekly. "Close the door, Amelia," he said without turning. She obeyed, her mouth dry. "Mr. Montgomery, about the text." 3 years, he interrupted, finally turning to face her. His steel blue eyes locked onto hers. 3 years you've worked for me, and I thought I knew you." Amelia swallowed hard. "Sir, my daughter got hold of my phone. She's 6 and doesn't understand." "Daddy." Jackson's voice was dangerously quiet. "Please come back." Heat rushed to Amelia's face. "Lucy's father left us 2 years ago. She sees you as... She's confused about our professional relationship. I've explained to her that you're just my boss." "Just your boss." Jackson repeated her words flatly. He moved to his desk, picking up a tabloid magazine and tossing it toward her. "According to the Sentinel, I'm much more than that." The headline made Amelia's blood run cold. "Montgomery's secret office romance. CEO seen comforting executive assistant late night. Below was a grainy photo of Jackson's hand on her shoulder as they exited the building at 10 p.m. after a particularly grueling project deadline 3 weeks ago. "This ran this morning," Jackson said. "Curious timing, wouldn't you say?" "I had nothing to do with this," Amelia whispered, horror mounting. "I would never—" "The Winters are furious," Jackson continued, as if she hadn't spoken. "William Winters called me at 6 a.m. questioning whether I'm still good enough for his daughter. My father summoned me for breakfast to remind me what's at stake with this merger." He stopped abruptly, running a hand through his hair. "And then there's Sophia. Sophia Winters, the perfect socialite with family connections worth billions. The woman Amelia could never compete with even if she tried." "I'll resign," Amelia said quietly. "You can tell everyone I was let go because of budget cuts. I'll find another job and—" "You think I want you to resign?" Jackson's voice rose sharply. "Don't you? Your wedding is in 3 weeks. This scandal is exactly what certain people have been waiting for," Jackson finished, his expression hardening. "Someone leaked that photo deliberately, and hours later I receive a text calling me daddy. What am I supposed to think, Amelia?" The implication hit her like a slap. "You think I'm trying to blackmail you? For what? Money?" Tears of anger and humiliation burned her eyes. "I have never wanted anything from you except the chance to do my job. Lucy made a mistake because she misses her father and saw me looking at a photo of us from the Christmas party. That's all." "The Christmas party," Jackson repeated, something flickering in his eyes. Amelia wished the floor would open up and swallow her. "I should go. I'll have my desk cleared by lunch." "No," Jackson said firmly. "You're not going anywhere until we sort this out." He pressed a button on his desk. "Diane, clear my morning and get me Greg from security." He released the button before his assistant could respond. "Someone is trying to sabotage me, and I need to know who." "What does that have to do with me?" Amelia asked. Jackson studied her for a long moment. "Because I think they're using you to do it, and I need your help to find out who and why." Before Amelia could respond, a sharp knock came at the door. Greg Parker, head of security, entered with a somber expression. "You wanted to see me, Mr. Montgomery." "Greg, I need to know who leaked that photo to the Sentinel." Jackson's voice was ice-cold. "And I need to know if anyone has been accessing Ms. Bennett's workstation or personal information." Greg nodded. "I'll get on it right away, sir." After the security chief left, an uncomfortable silence fell between them. Amelia finally gathered the courage to speak. "I should call Lucy's school, make sure she's okay after yesterday." Something softened in Jackson's eyes. "How is she?" The unexpected question caught Amelia off guard. "She's struggling sometimes. It's not easy explaining to a 6-year-old why her father doesn't call or visit." Jackson nodded, his expression unreadable. "And the text? What exactly prompted that?" Amelia sighed. "She found an old photo from the company Christmas party. I was looking at it. She noticed and asked questions. I told her we were friends, and she wants a father figure in her life. I'm sorry, I never meant to cause problems." For a moment, Jackson seemed lost in thought. Then his phone rang, breaking the tension. He glanced at the screen and frowned. "It's William Winters. I need to take this." He looked at Amelia. "Stay here, we're not finished." As Jackson took the call, turning away for privacy, Amelia stood awkwardly in the middle of his vast office, feeling as though her world was collapsing around her. One innocent text, one little girl's wishful thinking, and now her career and reputation hung in the balance. Little did she know, this was only the beginning of a chain of events that would unravel secrets long buried and challenge everything she thought she knew about Jackson Montgomery and herself. Jackson's conversation with William Winters lasted nearly 20 minutes. Though Amelia could only hear Jackson's side, the tension in his voice and the stiff set of his shoulders told her everything she needed to know. The Winters family was not pleased. When Jackson finally ended the call, he stared at his phone for a long moment before setting it down carefully on his desk. "They want me to fire you," he said, without preamble. Amelia nodded, already gathering her purse. "I understand. I said that's what they want, not what I'm doing." Jackson's voice had an edge to it she'd rarely heard before. "Sit down, Amelia." She sank into one of the leather chairs across from his desk, confusion